If you are enjoying Unity of Kona, consider making a monthly donation to our ministry. And if we can help you with any spiritual needs, whether through prayer support, continuing education, or other assistance, please contact us at unityofkona@gmail.com. Thank you. Our service will begin in just a few moments. We appreciate our viewers participating in the online discussion taking place on our Facebook page, at facebook.com/unityofkona. Feel free to share this link with your friends on your timeline. Thank you.
been up the ladder to more information for her. She's a chronic healer now, but
I can probably sit near you.
Mainland, wherever you come from around the world, Kakai, Yakai, Komamai, good morning and welcome. Unity Church of Kona, the opening prayer chant from the Hawaiian cultures, the Aomai, asking the Great Spirit above to grant us the wisdom in 3 octaves for the deeper meanings, the Kauna. First, the wisdom of the stories that are told, the deeper wisdom within that story. Why would it be telling this to the children? And then the highest octave, asking the Great Spirit above to grant us the wisdom of the experiences in our lives that become our stories. And so it is. With prayer we start our service, and this is a Christmas prayer. May there always be room in your heart for divinity to find a birthing place. May you be holy as the angels were, faithful as the shepherds were, humble as the cattle were, and wise as the wise men were. May you have compassion Mary had, the understanding Joseph had, and may the many blessings of the Christ child be yours, not because of his birthright long ago, but because his love is born in you today. And so it is. Amen. And with the opening prayers, we have the affirmation for the month as we get going with our service this morning. And so if you'd like to read this out with me on the board, we got life. Life is a blessing, and I give it with joy and thanksgiving. And so it is. And with that, let's all stand and do our opening song, Stand Together by Faith Rivera. Get some musicians up here. Hell. No, that's all right. You know the words. Sing it with me. Something great is happening. Love is taking hold and it won't let it go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. We're drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live a dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make the difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Ooh-oh-oh. Ooh-ooh. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing. Feel your passion blazing and shine.
paint with every vision and dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today, lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. The dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together, share gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Ooh, oh, oh. Mm-hmm. One dream,
One dream,
one voice,
one voice,
one heart,
one heart,
one world,
one world,
one dream,
one dream,
one voice,
one voice,
one heart, one world.
Stand together,
One dream,
stand,
and one voice,
stand,
one heart,
stand,
one world.
stand together.
Live a dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together, share gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
Woohoo! Thank you, everybody. As long as you're all standing, reach over and say hi to everybody in the sanctuary. We'd like to greet all our guests and visitors online, too. So if you're joining us online, leave a little comment in the comment section. Take a couple moments to greet everybody. We'd like to greet everybody with a great big aloha and God bless you. Thank you for joining us here this morning. This is the best part of the Sunday morning when everybody gets to say hi to each other. It used to take about 20 minutes doing this portion. But that's all right. We're doing good. And as we like to get started with our service and with song and prayer, I have a few announcements to get through. And first and foremost, we are a prayer ministry. The You Pray app is available for you to download on iPhone and Android both. And if you care to, you can submit your prayer request directly to Silent Unity. And if you choose, you can receive a response from them. Also many affirmations and many meditations that you can check out there on the line support. There are many ways to ask for prayer here with the Unity Church. The prayer request box is in the back of the sanctuary. There's little sheets up over here, prayer requests. Fill out your prayer request, put it in a little box, and our prayer chaplains will pray over them and then send them on to Silent Unity, where they do receive 30 days of continuous prayer. We all know the power of prayer in our lives, so utilizing the tools that we have at hand, and so power of prayer. So with that, I have a couple more announcements. Not a lot to go through, as this is now in the month of December. We'd like to say thank you, congratulations to Vince Mott for Team Member of the Month. Thank you, Vince. I'm hoping you're feeling better and getting back here to church real soon. But your willingness to sing and offer support is very much appreciated in sharing your talents, and we greatly appreciate all that you do for the church, and we are blessed to have you here at part of the Unity Church. So thank you, Vince, Team Member of the Month. Next week, after the Sunday service, will be the monthly board meeting. So instead of the social hour, we'll be having the board meeting next Sunday. So please join us. Everybody is welcome to sit there and participate a little bit. Of course, you got to be a member to vote, so we'll be looking for new members too shortly. So if you have any thoughts and sharing your times, talents, and treasures, and also on the board of directors, there's many places that you can share. Please leave us a message at the church phone line, 808-323-0885, or leave us a Gmail at unityofkona@gmail.com. More thing is, please join us for the social hour after service today. It's online services will be visible on the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And so with the social hour immediately after service, the Zoom link will be provided on the Facebook page in the comments section near the end of the service. I believe that's all I have for announcements today. Any more announcements? I believe that's it. And as we move along with our service, I have asked Jasmine to come up and do the daily word for us. So please welcome Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I'm going to read the daily word. Today's daily word is love. Love lights my way. In this Advent season, as I prepare my heart for the rebirth of my inner Christ child, I take a moment to connect with the spirit of love within. Sometimes this season may seem to be about presents, food, and celebrations, but it is really about love. Love is the power upon which the whole world revolves. Especially at this busy time of the year, I want to stay attuned to the love of the Christ within. Through this reciprocal power, the love I give returns to me abundantly. Love transcends all, transforming any perceived negativity into a blessing. I express love in all my words and actions. I may give a plate of homemade food or send a heartfelt note of my appreciation. Whatever I do, I let the love in my heart be my guide. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater. Mark 12:31. And please say this with me. Love lights my way.
Yay!
The next
it's too
portion
late.
is the Advent reading. And so I'm going to have you light the pink candle, and as they on the screen are going to do the lighting of the candle, you light it first in the church.
They're going to read first.
So, welcome Stan and Glenna doing the
We're
Advent
ready.
reading.
Okay, hold on, let me get you guys maximized so you can fill the screen. And go for it.
You're on stage.
This is the third week of Advent. The focus is on love.
During this session, as Christmas approaches, we take time to remember to feel and express love. As we do, we feel God's presence within us. Take time to stop, take a deep breath, and say, I am filled with love. I am filled
with love.
I am filled with love. As you say this, you will begin to feel your connectedness to God. We light the first candle again on the Advent wreath for faith.
We light this candle again for peace.
We light this third candle on the Advent wreath for love. May not.
There we go. Got it.
There you go.
Let us pray. Father, Mother God, during this season of Advent, we thank you for reminding us to express love in all that we think, say, and do. Teach us to bring love into our daily activities. We ask to be messengers of love during this Christmas season. We open our minds and hearts to your light and love, knowing that we are truly filled with love. Amen.
And so it is. So thank you so very much, Stan and Glenna. And thank you so much. Thank you, Jasmine. Can you just set that down? Yeah, that's good. Thank you for your help here in the sanctuary, Jasmine and Stan and Glenna online. God bless you all and happy Advent season. And now is the time to visualize our sanctuary. As we take a moment, get comfortable where you're at, visualize the sanctuary. Visualize also the sanctuary of your soul. See this as a beautiful heart. And as you feel the loving energy of those around you, see it flowing in and through you. See the loving energy flowing around every person, every being on this earth and in this world. And if you know of anyone in your life or in this world in need of prayer, see them in the center of this, what we've just created, this most beautiful heart, as we say together our prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God. I'd like to thank our visitors coming in from Pennsylvania, joining us here this morning. Welcome to the church. And now it's time for a little music from Dondi. Thank you, Dondi. I think you may have a Christmas song for us here today.
He's got a great Christmas shirt.
Yeah.
We only get to sing Christmas songs once a year, so I sing it every day separate. I hear the bells saying Christmas is here. They ring out to tell the world that this is the season of cheer. I hear a choir singing sweetly somewhere, and a glow fills my heart. I'm at peace with the world, and the sound of their singing fills the air. Oh, why can't every day be like Christmas? Why can't that feeling go on endlessly? For if every day could be just like Christmas, what a wonderful world this would be. I hear a child telling Santa what to bring, and a smile upon his tiny face is worth more to me than anything. Oh, why can't every day be like Christmas? Why can't this feeling go on endlessly? For if every day could be just like Christmas, what a wonderful world this would be. For if every day could be just like Christmas, what a wonderful world this would be.
Thank you so much, Dondi. Now's the time in our service where we introduce our guest speaker. Well, she's not such a guest. She's a regular here. Kayla Harvey. And thank you, Kayla. She's going to be doing our meditation and message here today. And Kayla's well known here in the church, and she's recently heard the call to become a licensed Unity teacher, ULT, and LUT. So Kayla, she's also vice president of the board of trustees here at the Unity of Kona. She and her husband conduct the sound baths and the healing services. Now, Kayla, she enjoys creating and putting on workshops and a variety of topics. Her area of specialty lies in combining therapeutic and spiritual worlds and assisting others in increasing their well-being and their zest for life. So it's really an honor and a pleasure to introduce Kayla Harvey again here to the podium.
Just in case, you gotta have some of this. Clear your throat. All right, so let's get ready for a meditation today. And find yourself a comfortable spot. Find a comfortable position in your seat. And shut your eyes if that feels good to you. Feel your seat rooting you down into the ground, and your arms and legs hanging gently at your side. Begin to feel your body relax into place. Center into this space. Take a deep breath in and out. Observe the movement of air in your body. On your next breath in, feel the air invigorating every cell in your body. With every breath you take in new life, and you are renewed by spirit. We all breathe the same life force, and it unites us all. In this moment, you feel a part of all life, one with the birds, the trees, and the wind. There is so much life within, and so much life left to be lived. Feel your body alive with this spiritual energy. Every cell tingles with excited energy, ready to embrace the day and provide forward movement. Something is calling you. Deep within, you feel a stirring, a desire for renewed purpose and joy. Something is telling you there's something more for you and for this community. Bring to mind an image of what you would like to see grow in your life and in this center. Maybe it's new connections, a shift in health, increased abundance, or exciting new projects. See the joy of these things and see what they will bring into your life and all those around you. In this moment, you have a knowing that you are here for a reason. You are part of this movement being birthed right here, right now. Your unique contribution, perspective, and Christ consciousness is welcomed and needed at this time. As you sit with this and are filled with joy, knowing all you need to do is share the love supplied to you by Spirit, you know it is multiplied many times over. Feel this joy and life building inside of you, and take a moment in this silence, in the stillness, to feel this. Take all of this excited anticipation with you into your day, Watch it birth forth new life into every situation you focus on in divine mind. Begin to bring your consciousness back into this room and your attention back into the body. Stretch your arms and legs as you open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring your awareness back into this room and be present and back here together.
That was good, Kayla.
Right.
Wow.
I'm glad we're back into life.
Wow.
Back here together. All right, and as we gather together, we'll get into our PowerPoint. I love the Christmas season, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, it's so much cheer and the decorations. I love the festivities of it all, right? All the festiveness. Well, a friend called me the other day and said that she had decorated her whole house for Christmas, was getting everything ready, really feeling the cheer. And they set the nativity out, and everything was so beautiful. And the only problem that happened from all of this is that her young son, a toddler, ate the baby Jesus. Swallowed it whole. Gone. For real. And I asked, oh my gosh, what are you going to do now? What's happening now? And she said, well, I guess we're now just waiting for a religious movement. But seriously, no children were harmed in the making of that joke. But December is a celebratory season, isn't it? In the Christian theology, we celebrate the birth of Jesus. And while we can look at this as a literal historical event of the actual birthing of a very enlightened teacher, we also know that all religious stories have multiple meanings to them. And this one is no different. Today, we're going to take a deeper look at the allegorical and metaphorical meaning of this time and the spiritual opportunity it affords us all. We're going to take a look at just what it means to be giving life to something and what we might be giving life to individually and as a community at this time. This month, in Unity, we talk about the spiritual power of life and our ability to animate and energize something. And what could be more life-giving than birth? The birthing process is to be bearing and bringing forth something. It's the emergence of the new and new life. And after all we have been through in the last 2 years or so, I think this sounds like just what we've been needing and wanting. We've been needing and wanting this on both an individual and a collective level, I would say. And just like the world at large, we as a community have experienced loss. We have experienced large void spaces where we've had this existence in uncertainty, not really sure where we're going from here and what's going to happen next. But now, no matter what's happening in the world, we are making a conscious choice to work on emerging our new beginnings and infusing new life into ourselves and into our center. But like any expectant mother, we might not always know what we're birthing and getting ready to give life to, right? But we can sense it coming. We can feel this anxious anticipation and awaiting of the new. But we have a part in this. We have to put our energy, dedication, and love into birthing something, right? There's a quickening and an awakening that's happening now. One that will take us into our next phase of development as individuals and as collective spiritual seekers, both right here in our Kona community, as well as globally, and all those who provide energy to this movement around the world. Let's let's take a look at what the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary has to say about birth, right? Because everything is symbolic, and there's a symbolism to things that we read in all of these stories. So what does birth symbolize? So when I looked it up, this is what it shared. It says, it's the awakening of man to a consciousness of his unity with the one universal spirit. The change from mortal to spiritual consciousness through the begetting and quickening power of the word of truth. Ooh, that's a pretty beautiful and intense thought, right? A really different thing than we think of, just the physical act of birthing. Well, this month, we celebrate the birth of the teacher Jesus, just as we celebrate the birthing of new awareness, expansion of divine consciousness within us, and this new beginning we can have as a collective. See, it's time now to make an intention, to start our preparations for this new life and new year that we're being blessed with. So we do so through many ways, through our service projects, deepening our commitment to our spiritual development, and through renewed sense of faith and forward movement. But sometimes we wonder, how are we going about this? How does that work? How do I birth something and breathe new life into something? Well, what we don't realize is that we're birthing things all the time. You see, whatever you put your life force into and give attention to is what you are creating. And you can create anew every single day. So it's whatever you're putting your focus on and your energy into. That's what you're creating more of. And as Reverend Sophia discussed last week, it's the wolf you feed. Right? Because as we know, whatever we feed will grow. So we can choose to feed fear, division, uncertainty. We can feed more of that if we want. Or we can make a conscious choice to feed faith, hope, new spiritual ventures, and new life into our world. Let's affirm this together. Together, I am a co-creator with God, birthing new life into all I love and energize. Yes, this is what we're doing all the time. There's a cute little parable about two babies in the womb that has come to mind, and it's attributed to many sources and many authors, and it's been rewritten many times, and you may have heard of it before. But it's one that reminds us of the different ways we can choose to look at different times in our lives. And it's about different ways we can approach this new birthing we may be experiencing. And so it goes like this. In a mother's womb, there were two babies. The first baby asked the other, "Do you believe in life after delivery?" The second baby replies, "Well, of course. There has to be something after delivery. Maybe we're here to prepare ourselves for what we will be next." "Nonsense," said the first baby. "There's no life after delivery. What would that life be?" "I don't know," said the first, "but maybe there'll be more light than there is here. Oh, maybe we'll walk with our legs and eat from our mouths." The doubting baby laughed. "That's absurd. Walking is impossible. And eat with our mouths? Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. The umbilical cord supplies our nutrition. Life after delivery has to be excluded. The umbilical cord is simply too short." The second baby held his ground. "No, I think there is something, and maybe it's different than it is here." The first baby replied, "No one has ever come back from here. Delivery is the end of life, and in the after delivery, there is nothing but darkness and anxiety, and it takes us nowhere." "Well, I don't know about that," said the twin, "but certainly we will see Mother, and she will take care of us." The first baby gawked. You believe in Mother? Really, Mother? Where is she now? Second baby calmly and patiently tried to explain, she is all around us. It is in her that we live. Without her, there would be no world for us to exist. I don't see a mother. This is so illogical. If I don't see her, she cannot exist. To which the other replied, sometimes, when you're in silence, you can hear her. You can perceive her. I believe there is a reality after delivery, and we are here to prepare ourselves for that reality when it comes. Even though that's a parable about life after death and the afterlife, I think it applies here. We have to remind ourselves there is always more than one way of looking at things. So yes, we've spent 2 years dealing with whatever is happening here. It has derailed a lot. And at the same time, we have to remind ourselves there both is life after this pandemic and there is life to be lived right now. No matter the restrictions or things that have changed or paused, it doesn't mean we quit preparing for the things that we want and the things that we want to birth into this world. Life takes no pauses, and we are always able to create with divine mind. Sometimes in order to birth something new, something else has to fall away first, right? Like releasing error mind in order to more fully align ourselves with divine consciousness. Sometimes we simply need to rebirth, reinvigorate, have a revival of what we hold true and dear. So that's why we're going to take a look a little bit today at the roots, the spiritual birthing of this movement, and the origin story of unity, just briefly, to see if it can help us take a look at what we might want to rebirth and breathe new life into as we move forward in our lives. So where did unity come from? Where did this whole movement start? Well, for those of you who are not aware, unity is part of what is called the New Thought movement. What the heck is that? Well, the New Thought movement got its origin in the 19th century and has its roots in the American Christian metaphysical teachings. It's a mind-healing movement with no specific creed. Its foundational tenets state that spirit is more real and more powerful than any matter, and that the mind, through Christ consciousness and divine mind, can heal the body. It includes many different faiths, things like religious science, Center for Spiritual Living, science of mind, unity, and many more. So it's a largely encompassing philosophical, there's the word, principles. And according to Encyclopedia Britannica Online, the International New Thought Alliance, that was created in 1914, created and agreed upon a purpose that embraces the central tenets of this group as a whole. And it states, the purpose of these principles emphasize the immanence of God, the divine nature of man, the immediate availability of God's power to man, the spiritual character of the universe, and the fact that sin, human disorders, and human disease are basically matters of incorrect thinking. Moreover, according to New Thought, man can live in oneness with God, in love, truth, peace, health, and plenty. Many New Thought groups emphasize Jesus as teacher and healer and proclaim his kingdom as being within a person. And listening to that, we can hear unity within that, right? We can hear our unity principles in there, talking about our divine nature, our ability to access spirit within us, and the immanence of spirit right there in everything and everyone. there was an image. I've been taking, okay, for those of you who don't know, since I'm working on my licensed Unity teacher, I've been taking classes. They're on Zoom, which is a lovely thing about the internet. We're having this ability to connect with people all across the globe. And my recent class was on the history of Unity and New Thought. Really dense stuff. We had 4 books for this class. It was pretty intense, but it's good stuff. So in this class, they showed an image that described different philosophical ways of looking at religious thought. And it was really incredibly eye-opening to me. So I want to share this with you today. And it's a little blurry, so I'll describe it. So it talks about the difference between these different thoughts. So the image here talks about traditional theism. And theism is just a belief in a higher power. A belief in God, essentially, or something bigger than ourselves. So when we see the traditional idea of theism, we describe God as bigger than ourselves, outside of ourselves, and the universe apart from that. And there's usually described as one connection, God speaking to us, right? One-way connection. So this is traditional Christianity has really existed mostly in theism concepts. Great. Pantheism, on the other hand, is, in contrast to this, discussed in Taoism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and many other spiritual practices, acknowledges God as a higher power in everything, saying that God is not apart from us, and instead, in everything from this podium to myself, my hair, this mic stand, everything. And it sees God primarily as principle, acting as the principal substance and the divine laws of the universe. Great. Now, panentheism, on the other hand, a term I had never heard before, is what we use to describe the New Thought movement. It's pretty interesting, and what it says is it agrees with the concept that God is large and encompasses everything. And in fact, we are inside of and a part of God. That God is both in us and we are in God. But it describes it as more than just principle. More than just God is this podium. God is also bigger and beyond time and space. Bigger than we can imagine and conceive with our own consciousness. So yes to both. And often you see, instead of a one line, we get lines going back and forth with arrows from both directions. That we communicate to God, God communicates to us, and all things are communications of God. So as the New Thought movement, we are describing panentheism, the concept that God is both within us, in everything, around us, and bigger in consciousness than we can ever imagine and describe. That we can have immanent connection to God as principle and as a personal relationship, as a source. It's pretty powerful. I suggest, if this interests you, look into it a little further. Incredibly interesting. Because when I saw this, I thought, this is the difference for me in unity to other things. This is what gives me that feeling of encouragement, hope, and connectedness to everything. It's a pretty cool thought. So though the word New Thought implies a major shift from the traditional theism, and we can think it sounds relatively new based on its emergence in the 1800s, it is anything but new. Let me tell you, in this class, we have been reading not only the principles of New Thought and all of that, but we've been reading where they came from, which originated from philosophers, theologians, religious scholars, all throughout the centuries have thought of these ideas and brought them up. Unfortunately, many were stifled, persecuted, labeled as heretics, and killed. Right? Pretty tough stuff. However, nothing can stop truth with a capital T. Ever, right? So the idea will continuously be seeded and birthed into the collective consciousness until it's in the right conditions to thrive. And I think we have a place for it here. So Myrtle Fillmore, one of the founders of Unity, this birth for her arose unexpectedly in a time of great turmoil in her life. In fact, Myrtle Fillmore was dying of tuberculosis. She had tried everything to no avail. One day, she and her husband attend a lecture by a man named E.B. Weeks, who was a student of Emma Curtis Hopkins. And that talk shifted Myrtle's thinking and ultimately saved her life. See, it was this notion of the divinity of man, the Christ consciousness within her, and the effects of empowerment and healing it had when she accepted that and spoke that within and to her body that originally sparked that birth of unity within her. Pretty incredible. And the funny thing is, neither Charles nor Myrtle set out to start a church. They had no desire to do that. That wasn't their intention. In fact, they had no idea where their humble beginnings would take them. They simply set out, or Myrtle did, for a healing quest for herself. But it led her to a profound truth. And when she used that truth, it transformed her, her family, her husband. People started to notice. People started to ask what was going on. And see, they didn't have all the answers, but what they did have was immense faith. They had dedication to these beliefs they were forming. They put lots of time, love, and energy into the study and practice. And as others noticed, they started asking for help. And of course, they were willing to share. So they shared their information, and one healing turned into hundreds, turned into thousands. And in fact, these healings turned into correspondence, to what became Silent Unity eventually, that turned into lectures and a school, eventually turned into Unity churches. All of this was created, and it eventually turned into Unity Village. An incredible place where they grew their own food, printed their own publications, had housing, had education and courses, amazing things. And in fact, it took an entire village. They sparked others, who sparked others. Their children and their children's children helped build this, provided each one of them with their own unique talents to contribute. It can be done. And we, as a community, have started this process. See, we have begun identifying things that are giving us spiritual life, and we started to define what we want to give life to. As a community, we have defined a new vision statement recently. A world family of oneness, peace, and love. This is what we want to see. We've put new life into a mission statement, a purpose that we have as a community, to inspire spiritual growth and service through active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. See, we have created this because we want something. We are ready to birth something. And with enough life force, dedication, and love we put into this, we too can grow anything. Like Charles and Myrtle did, we too can birth a dream and spur an entire movement if we would like. We simply need to put our energy into it and energize this thing. When I first walked into a Unity over 10 years ago, I'll tell you right now, I was not interested in joining a church. In fact, I had never had great experiences with religion. I just hadn't. I had felt judged. I felt restricted. I felt like there was hypocrisy. I didn't feel like it gave me room to question and be myself. But I was referred to this place by a massage therapist when I had just generally shared a sense of something really missing in my life. And I was told to check this out. I wasn't sure, but I looked it up online, and there was just something different. Something about this website was already interesting to me. And from the time I went there, everything from the people, the books, the way they conducted service, said there really was something different, something beautiful about this place. The library in the entrance contained so many different books from diverse spiritual paths and exciting and empowering spiritual topics. The people were dressed pretty casually. Everyone was smiling. They were so friendly and so welcoming. I was kind of surprised. In the service, we did a guided meditation, and they did a call and response, and I was shocked because we were asked to affirm ourselves as the love, power, and presence of God. I didn't know you could do that. That was pretty amazing. It was such an incredibly warm, open, and empowering experience for me. I felt absolutely no sense of judgment. I felt welcome and open to ask questions and have my own thought process. Frankly, I felt respected as a spiritual seeker, and I was welcome to learn and explore with them. See, it was this acceptance, openness, and empowerment that I felt that created a rebirth of my spiritual life. It's this type of energy. It's this that I would like to put into this place. I would like people to feel this when they come in and meet us. This is what I would like to encourage and birth more of. So I'm going to put my energy, life force, and attention to birthing that. See, we all have an opportunity around this time when we've been given this opportunity to birth more Christ consciousness into ourselves. We have an opportunity along with this to birth new life into unity and new thought teachings, to embrace our own divinity, to embrace that Christ consciousness. On an individual level, this might mean we dedicate more time to meditate, to analyzing our dreams, to soul searching, to vision boarding, to spending time in prayer, service, or study. It may mean reaching out to loved ones, spending more time expressing yourself through art or music, or just finding more ways to laugh. Whatever is going to spur something that you want to keep creating, perpetuate more of what you want to see. Because remember, the third principle of unity states, you are a co-creator with God, and your thoughts create. So maybe you simply give your positive thoughts new life and birth a whole new way of looking at the world. So how we give new life to unity and into our own lives is the same. And let's go ahead and repeat this affirmation again today. I am a co-creator with God, birthing new life into all I love and energize. So as we read that again, doing this, birthing love, birthing things is all the same. What we do and what the Advent word says this week is to love. Right? When we love something, we end up showing it our attention and filling it with our energy. We give it our life as it gives us life, right? So we have a great opportunity at this time. What will you pour your love into? What will you carry with you in your consciousness? And what will we birth forth into the world? Thank you.
Birthing more love. We could all use more love in life. This is a wonderful way as we come into this season to find this where to put your energy. And this is where it all needs to go. Follow your heart, my friends. And as we follow our hearts, it's time in our service where we'll do our offertory prayer. So now if you please take your gifts and offerings, there's a box in the back of the sanctuary. We're not going to pass a plate that you can put your tithes and offerings into. There'll be listed on the board as we get into some music with a QR code and many ways that you can donate. And so there, let me see, get ahead of myself, and for which we are abundantly grateful. And so all these things happening, we want to say thank you for Kayla and Kayla doing the meditation and service today. And so with you hold your gifts in your hands now, as we'll join together and say the offertory prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And so it is. And now we have a little more music from Dondi. Thank you, Dondi. Bring us back into the Christmas moment. Huh?
You know, since we're in Hawaii, there's no way we cannot sing this song. So if you know the song, sing along with me, please. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greetings that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright. Sun does shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you. One more time. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. There we know that Christmas will be green and bright. Sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you so much, Dondi. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Whew. Well, it's time to bless these offerings. So as we know, the through Spirit, that as we give, so shall we receive. As we now dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will and your work in this ministry, in our lives, and in our community, say thank you, God. Amen. And now we'll hold each other's hands as we want to make a big circle around the sanctuary. You can come closer, touch hands if you'd like to. We're not forcing anybody to make contact here. But this is the time where we'll do our closing songs. Let there be peace on earth and aloha oi. And in closing, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here and tuning in online service. And so if there's don't forget the social hour after service here. Next week's speaker will be guest speaker Reverend Sophia Folke. Her topic is celebrating the joy of life. Even in the most challenging situations, there is a pearl of joy that can be found. Music next week will be Neil Barnett. So join us for the virtual social hour immediately after service. All are invited. Zoom link is now provided on the Facebook page. And so let's go with these songs. There we go. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we.
together in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And as we hold the peace in our hands, let's hold the love in our hearts. And as we move forward, birthing with the new life that's coming from within us in this holiday season, let's finish with Aloha Oi. Aloha Oi, Aloha Oi, Eke ono no ikalipo, one fond embrace, Aloha Ao, until we meet again. Woohoo! Aloha! Thank you, everybody. And I think we have a little more Christmas music as we work our way out of the service today. So enjoy.
Guitar sing, are you listening? Everywhere palm trees glisten, a beautiful land, Christmas is grand, walking in Hawaii's wonderland. Balmy days, no confusion, flowers gay in profusion, and happiness glows and every ray shows it's Christmas in Hawaii's wonderland. We would tell you stories by the hours, telling of all the customs here. Tradition weaves a lovely lay of flowers, and aloha is the way of love and cheer. Christmas night, candles gleaming in a church, children dreaming. Christ's holy light is with us tonight. It's Christmas in Hawaii's wonderland. Telling stories by the hours, telling of all the customs here. Tradition weaves a lovely lay of flowers, and aloha is the way of love and cheer. Christmas night, children gleaming in a church, children beaming. Christ's holy light is with us tonight. It's Christmas in Hawaii's wonderland. It's Christmas in Hawaii's wonderland.